it was for the first time in my life, I felt like I was looking for a label for what was wrong with me. Like, is this depression? Am I anxious? Like, is it gluten? Like, I felt just sad. So I took this retreat after I had my third kiddo, and he was like 15 months old or something. It was really hard to leave, but and I realized that nothing was wrong with me, just that I needed more space for myself. I had just been hemorrhaging all my energy onto everyone else but myself. And so I came back from that and I was like, I know I'm not the only one who feels like this and is struggling from feeling depleted, exhausted, and wiped out. So it was from there that I started my retreat business.
But just real quick though, I really think diversity of all types, including political, including is healthy. I think we as a company want to be able to practice the art of thoughtful disagreement. I think it's so important to be able to have uncomfortable conversations about issues and to expand your mind with every conversation.
I think so what we're trying to do is, especially on Instagram, because we're saying like, hey, this is all addicting, and we're saying get off your phones, but Instagram is where we really have to go to reach people, right? So True. we use Instagram more as resources, to say, don't forget to look up right now, phone free dinners tonight, and things like civil media. Have we thought about maybe just making a new platform and thinking about being civil and having just civil media and humane tech and ways to be more humane in our tech?
Okay. So for me, I actually, for a year, I was pitching the show after we filmed it. And I even flew to Netflix with no meeting and showed up at their front door and said, here's who I am. I spent $100 in packages. My wife shipped personal packages to 4 or 5 execs, and showed up at the front door and said, hey, I flew here from Minnesota. I'm here to see this person. They wouldn't let me in. And then I said, well, can I email them on the side here and let them know I'm here, because I had their emails. And they said, yes. Within 2 minutes, a guard was there and I was escorted out. So talk about really the effort of doing whatever it takes.
With entrepreneurship, I think this is what I'm learning now, is it's going to take a while. It's not kind of an overnight, success story. So in some of the harder times, it's really helpful to have, whether it's partners in the business or just a really great support circle around you, because I think you got to ride those waves to be able to reach that success story.
I can't imagine. So the employees going, the brothers are like, hey, I like green. And the other one's like, I like blue. And you're saying, hey guys, what color do you like? And they're both going, the employees are like, I like all colors.
It's so true. And this is why, as a founder, it's much easier to have the employees say, come to me with, I like green and this is why, and understanding that why. So one of our core values is understanding that why behind that and thinking differently. So if you're thinking differently and understanding that why, it's a lot easier when people come to you with those ideas and you can tell them yes or no and here's why, rather than you having to pitch the idea too. And I think just being upfront with everyone too. So at the end of the day, no matter how much you fight or bicker, you can always sit down and have a meal. And that's something my parents, if you're having a rough day, you can always sit down and just, go back and reset together.
2 key things. 1, find a kick-ass mentor, someone who is going to tell you the things that are hard to hear, and you're going to be able to take it from them and listen. And the second thing is take in all of the conflicting, varying advice that you're going to get from everybody and decide for yourself, because everybody's advice is different and based on their experience. And so often it's just conflicting with each other and you don't know what to believe. Decide for yourself. You can get.
Then eventually I moved into procurement, and now robotics, right? So when my kids used to ask me when they were real little, Dad, what do you do? I say, I clean toilets, and then 5 or 10 years later, I said, Dad, what do you do? I purchase more toilet paper than anybody in the world, right? So I was the head of procurement for the largest janitorial company in the world, right? You know how many cases, billions of cases of toilet paper I've purchased, right? Dad, what do you do now? I sell robots.
I sell robots. I'm like, how did you go from?
Yeah, you're a lot cool, Dad. You're not cool, okay, but you're cooler. Like we don't mind telling our friends my dad's a robot salesman, but we didn't really want to tell him he cleaned toilets and he bought toilet paper. Right?
That is so good.
And when people join, you know, I think there's, there's a very just family-driven atmosphere, and I think people just really appreciate the level of awareness and appreciation, and you know, we focus on it. You know, we focus on just sharing that and making it a part of our day.
The truth is, as long as you keep going, as long as you're still alive, as long as you're breathing, like, you cannot mess up your life, because like all of the failures actually help you grow and make you a better person. And so I really feel like I wish someone would have told me when I was 21, don't worry, you can't mess up your life.
I think that, you know, we alluded to earlier, there's been, you know, an erosion of trust in information, right? There's no more discernible truth in our national discourse. And, you know, why that is, you know, I'm sure people can debate that and get to an answer, but I think, you know, the more that people are in their echo chambers and they only see what's in their Facebook feed, they curate, you know, that down to an area that makes them feel good, and they're just constantly reassured. You know, that's not a very healthy place to be, and we all, you know, all of us from the top down, you know, go into that bubble, unfortunately. So, you know, our goal as a community paper, I think, is to, you know, to not engage in those, you know, those divisive topics.
You know, if you're a person that's used to getting a paycheck every 2 weeks and getting benefits, you know, that's something you got to think about. And, you know, whether you're married and got a young family, whatever. See, one of the advantages I have is that at the time I got divorced and my kids were all adult children. So if it was only me I was feeding. And so if I needed to eat pork and beans out of a can, I could do that if I had to.
It was knowing that in our circumstance with the kids, right, you're really making a choice that's larger than you. You're impacting the entire family. Everybody's at risk. So it was a little over a year of conversations and planning and pressure testing, with her looking at and providing feedback and talking through, so that when it came time to actually make the jump, to pull that trigger, it was the right decision. And even with the highs and lows since then, there's no question that it was the right choice to make given my circumstances.
I lived too many years in toxic work environments, or with people that, I slapped a smile on a face and pushed that door into the building and was like, okay, I can do this today. And I think life is too short, especially when I lost my husband. I learned very quickly that life is too short to be miserable. So live your life fully and be happy, and choose those things that give you that kind of joy, because life is too short to do otherwise.
I wish I would have had somebody tell me, or me tell my younger self, just because you can do a job doesn't mean you should do it.
I like that. Very good.
So get clear of what you really want next, what it's going to give you in terms of either experience or the ability to work on something that's passionate for you, or you've always wanted to get the financial acumen, right? Whatever it is, know why you're moving that way and do it with such a different intention. Never run from something, always run to something better.